it through. Hold on, think again. Don't you know we're just starting? You sure we got the clue? How bad this we go? Don't you know? No more art. And as I look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you. It's not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done by the time it hit you, you're not surprised.
Chad, I hurt my wrist opening my water bottle. Ow. I twisted too hard. Hello, chat. Hello, Gino. Hello, Fejan. Hello, Lizard Man. I have had a bit of a day. So I got up. I woke up in the middle of the night twice. I have no idea what time because I never got up to check my clock. And then I ended up waking up a third time 13 minutes before my alarm went off, and I just decided to get up right then and there. I didn't have a bad dream. Kind of. But I didn't get good sleep. And on top of that, something happened relatively early in the day that I don't want to get into. That put me in a bad headspace for a bit, but it's been resolved, and everything is good now. But it did take a lot out of me. Also, my internet is still not fixed. However, the internet is better than it was yesterday. So I think I should be able to get through stream. Now, the ironic thing is, the only thing I'm having an issue with is my download speed. My upload speed is fine. So, even if my internet goes to shit in the middle of stream, my stream shouldn't go down because it's using my upload speed, which is normal. What will go down is my ability to see chat. Because a couple of times last night, my connection was so bad I couldn't even read Twitch chat. Last night when I was watching Ko-Fi, I went an entire hour of just nothing but buffering. I could not talk to him at all. Because it was just buffering hell for literally an hour straight. I gave up and I went to bed. And there were some buffering issues earlier today when Neri went live and I had to moderate for her. But it's been fine since about 3 o'clock. And it's 7:12 now. So I think we are Gucci. I think we are Gucci in the coochie. Doesn't mean no. No. Let me check something real quick. There's sleep. Alright, that should be every ability, I believe? Yeah. Ugh, I'm so tired. Damn right, 1660. I only need to yawn 9 more times and then I can never yawn again. For the 16th time. Alright, so we completed 2 levels, it looks like. We got 2 of these. Yeah, I don't want to get that yet because I'm waiting until I unlock something. So we'll do this, and then we'll do the other one, and then we'll do the next level, and then we'll just play normally from here on out. I think we got some more treasures later on. But aside from that, I haven't really done much today. Like I said, I was in a bad headspace, so... I've mostly just been vibing. Yeah. I'm hoping things will be back to normal tomorrow. I can be back to business. Oh god. Chat, am I gonna need to make coffee? Long shots, Noble Ranger trial. Yeah. There we go. Alright, that's all those. Windy, freezing seas. Onigiri. God. I would destroy some onigiri right about now. Okay, you want needle, I guess? Alright, we'll do needle. Give me needle back. Oh cool, more of the gotcha I don't need. No, you don't. There we go. Well, let's see what's over on the left first. Another wall will do. Ow. Alright, now we can leave. Dragonfire blueprint. Ooh. Secret underground room. There we go. I really almost just jumped off that, didn't I? Oh, my mouse should be done charging. Give me un momente, chat, while I fuck with my mouse a little bit. I was charging my mouse earlier, and my mouse, I don't know how long it's supposed to charge for, but it doesn't have any kind of indicator when it's done charging, so I usually just let it go for a bit. And just unplug it after a couple hours have passed. I don't know how fucking long it doesn't, like, the mouse doesn't actually say when it's done charging. I don't know if I can... I don't know if I can even check if it has a battery. Can I? Wait, can I? I don't know. Doesn't seem like it. Oh, Scoramondo. Scoramondo. Chad, I'm so tired. I'm gonna do this one, and then I will upgrade the fire ability. What was I doing recently? I was doing something. There's something I wanted to mention that I had been doing. I don't remember what it was. Oops. I'm so fucking tired. But I wanted to stream, and I thought Kirby would be good for me. So, assuming that nothing goes to shit tomorrow, or Friday, tomorrow, I will be streaming something. So they're going to be Earthbound like we originally planned, but if Dennis can't make it, it's going to be something else. Probably a wheel of pinball tables, because that would be pretty fun. And then, assuming I'm able to stream Friday, I'm going to do a makeup stream and stream Chibi Robo. To make up for missing... what's it? Tuesday. That's the word. Cool. Hi, Thrice. Oh, no, no. Doing that kind of makeup, Thrice. In my luck, if I tried any of that, I'm gonna, like, lose my skin or something. I have actually worn makeup before. One year... Okay, so I went to a high school that didn't allow students to have facial hair. So we couldn't have, like, mustaches or beards or anything. So one year I was cosplaying as Shaun from Shaun of the Dead. And so my sister helped me out. She used some makeup to give fake blood on me. And also used makeup in order to make it look like I had a beard. Because Shaun in the film has a goatee. And it was the only time in my life that I have ever worn makeup. And I remember some classmates made fun of me for it. And I had to remind them that male actors, their favorite male actors, wear makeup all the time in movies. It is perfectly normal for men to wear makeup. And that dressing up like that is no different than, like, being dressed up for a film or a theater. Of course, my classmates were really fucking stupid. Legitimately knew a kid who did not know that the Earth revolved around the sun. Well, we were more like teenagers, but this is just kids. Did this go anywhere? Yes. Ow. Really? Oh! Kirby? Ow. Wait, that wasn't even the dumbest kid that I knew. There was a kid at my high school who said that Thor was his favorite Greek god, and his reason for thinking Thor was a Greek god was because Thor could fly. Yes. Ow. And when I pointed out that by his logic that means Superman is a Greek god, he didn't seem convinced. What is that emote? There was an error getting the emote data. Please try again later. There we go. How you doing, Thrice? Hope all is well. Eh. Going alright? You're good. Ow. Ah! Oh my god. Cross the ice blueprint. Q. Oh, but I saw this. And I should have taken the ice. Oh. Okay. Oh, my can is empty. So I've gotten, or I tried out this drink that I'd never heard of before, at the recommendation of one of the artists that I follow, Spoony Cat. They're the one who did some of my most recent emotes. Speaking of, I reordered the emote slots around a little bit, so messed with some things. But this is called Liquid Death, which apparently is some. It's not all sparkling water. Some of it, I think, is actual proper pop. I think they have a coffee and tea variety as well, but it's all like meant to be healthy, with a sense of humor. And some of the proceeds go to help cleaning up the planet, clean up pollution and all that. And we got two flavors to try. There's sparkling water varieties. The Dr. Death, which is a Dr. Pepper ripoff, and Squeeze to Death, which is orange flavored. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. It's a lot healthier than pop. Only 10 calories and 2 grams of sugar. So, pretty good for you. It's technically less healthy than what I normally drink, which is just regular sparkling water, because that has no calories and no sugar. But I mean, 10 calories and 2 grams of sugar, that's like nothing. Oh, thank God. That shop is very important. And the reason why that shop is important is because of one of the items it sells. So that doubles your health. And the reason why that's important is because when you have double health, you are technically always at full health as long as you have that second health meter. So even if you get hit 6 times, as long as you still have a second meter of health, no matter how full it is or how empty it is, you are always technically at full health. Which means 2 of the sword upgrades constantly have sword beams during that. And that's very useful for boss fights. That's the Meta Knight sword and the Morpho Knight sword. But it's going to be a bit before we can get the Morpho Knight one. So, I want that Meta Knight sword. I think I can beat the game without the Morpho Knight sword. I don't want to do the full boss rush in order to get it. But I do want the Meta Knight sword, because that's going to be very helpful, and I want to do it before the next boss fight. Oh, Chad, a very important find was made for horror games and for Game Boy Color games, because a full, nearly complete build of Resident Evil for Game Boy Color was found and dumped online. It's almost complete. As far as the people who uploaded it can tell, you can finish the game, you can fight the final boss, and it has an ending. It was almost ready for release, and then canceled by Capcom. It is a straight port of Resident Evil 1 to the Game Boy Color, complete with pseudo 3D visuals, basically, pre-rendered backgrounds, the original camera angles for all the scenes, and most of the areas intact. It is an extremely impressive port. And the fact that we never actually got it is kind of a shame, because it's extremely impressive and shows what the Game Boy Color could really do. I posted it in my server, so if you want to check it out, it does have a download to the ROM. Can I say that on stream if it's a game that never released? Am I gonna get in trouble for saying that? Would you say I didn't catch it? Well, I was talking about the Resident Evil Game Boy Color port that was dumped online. And I said I posted a link in my server to the article talking about it that includes a download link. And then I wondered if I would get in trouble for saying that on stream. And of course you've made me repeat it. So if I am going to get in trouble, I'm going to get doubly in trouble for saying it twice. Probably not. Okay. If I get sued, Xeno, I'm blaming you. In fact, I'm shifting all the blame to you, so which means you'll have to deal with the lawsuit instead of me. Ow. Yeah. Wife. Faison, I'm gonna need you to clarify what anal means. Oh, I am not a lawyer. Okay. I have never heard that acronym before. I think that's not a very good acronym. Already have a sword. So, something that's never quite explained in Kirby lore is what exactly Meta Knight is. Because in a lot of the games where you actually fight Meta Knight, you can break his mask. And it's revealed that he looks like Kirby. And if I remember correctly, as far as Kirby's species goes, he is considered a Star Warrior. Which means Meta Knight, and also Kirby's a baby. He's a very young Star Warrior. Which means it's very likely that Meta Knight is the adult version of Kirby's species. Kirby lore is so interesting to me because there's a lot of stuff that's just never explained. And I think it's because it's a baby game for babies and it doesn't need to be explained. But it's so fascinating at times. One of the Kirby games has a pretty big thing about a character trying to resurrect their dead daughter, and I thought that was Kirby Star Allies, but apparently that's a different game. I'm not sure why the backswing has so much more damage. Yep, see? Kirby. There we go. With this little Meta Knight mask. Like I said, as long as I have that second health bar, I am always at full health. So I can always use those sword beams. And that's why it's so important to have that item. Yeah. Do these two, and then we'll do the boss. Sliding road, high-speed skating. Chat, have you ever gone skating? Like ice skating? I've never gone ice skating. That I remember. I've gone roller skating when I was very young. I was at some, like, camp thing. It would have been, like, summer camp or something. And we went ice skating, and two of the guys who were supposed to be watching the kids, which, since I was very young at the time, included me, knocked me over while I was ice skating, or roller skating. And the only person who was nice to me was one of the people who was watching over us, who was a girl. Everyone else was mean to me. / Meta Knight Sword Trial. But I don't think I've ever gone ice skating. I wasn't very good at roller skating. My grandma brought me roller skates and I used them once, fell on my ass, and then never used them again. I think she also got me a skateboard and I was too scared to actually try to use it properly, so I never really used it. And she bought me a bike, which I couldn't balance without training wheels, no matter how hard she tried to get me to balance. And I never used it. I would go up and down the street, and then no further than that. Now, looking back, a good portion of my young life was spent doing things that my grandma wanted me to do, and then finding every way possible to not do them. Because my grandma kept making me do things when I was real little, and I didn't want to do, like, any of them. She put me in a soccer team when I was, like, in kindergarten, and I refused to play at any of the games because I only wanted to play for fun. So I was kicked out of it. She put me in the Latin club when I was too young to voice that I can't take two languages at once, because I also had Spanish class, and I got kicked out of that. I also personally think my teacher had a stick up her ass, but that's beside the point. I was kind of disruptive as a kid, but she also just seemed kind of mean. My grandma made me take piano, which I ended up enjoying, actually. She made me take violin, which I didn't enjoy that much. And when I had decided I was done with music lessons, I quit violin first. And then eventually I quit piano. I kept playing piano, at least for a little bit, but I stopped taking lessons. This was like 2007, 2008, something like that, I think. She wanted me to take sailing. Thank God she never pushed for that, because that would not have ended well for me. I have thalassophobia. I didn't know it at the time, though. Best song in the game. Oh, this is cursed playing this at 60 FPS. What am I hearing? Okay, I thought I was hearing something from the living room, because I know my family's in there watching stuff. And I thought they had the volume up too high. I think it's actually coming from outside. It sounds like music. Can we talk about King Dedede's design in this real quick? Because, like, that is a pillar. That is a column, actually, is the word I'm looking for. Because, like, this design for King Dedede is how he looks in Kirby 64. And they brought this design back for 2 games. For Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and then they changed his design from Return to Dreamland to use this design for that as well. And then immediately, in King Dedede's next appearance, he was back to his other design. I really gotta ask, what was the point of doing that if they were just going to revert his design back anyways? I actually prefer this design, but maybe that's because Kirby 64, I think, was my first Kirby game. It might have actually been the original Dreamland, and I just never finished it. I never got to King Dedede. See, what if I just don't progress? What if we just stay freeze-framed here forever? Are you gonna do anything? Like how the Waddle Dees are just gone. It's funny we have the Meta Knight mask because we can't see Kirby's face. So he's just got the Meta Knight eyes. Original Wasteland. Hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. There's something I need to do in the previous area. We're just gonna head back real quick. So chat, it has been roughly half a year since the Switch 2 has come out. For those who have a Switch 2, what is your favorite Switch 2 game? And why is it Kirby Air Riders? If a Switch 1 game has a Switch 2 upgrade, you can count that, since technically it is a Switch 2 game. You can probably guess what mine is, Kirby Air Riders, given that's also my game of the year. Second favorite would be DK Bonanza. Kirby Air Riders. I was expecting you to say Legend of Heroes. Chosen the Sky isn't an exclusive. You can count it. I wasn't asking about an exclusive. I was asking your favorite Switch 2 game, and it's a Switch 2 game. You can say that. Oh, I'm at full health. Humming bomb. So, funny thing is, while this one is stronger, it's actually slightly more annoying to work with. The upgrades are incrementally stronger. I actually prefer the second tier of bombs, the electro bombs, whatever they're called, over the third tier. Because the homing properties actually kind of get in the way sometimes, if I don't want it to home in. I showed restraint with that scissor lift name. Almost made a JonTron reference. I didn't. I showed restraint. So I'm trying to break that habit. It's been surprisingly difficult. Only because I watched so much JonTron years ago. Stretch and collect, Scissor Lift Road. So many gaming YouTubers have turned out to be complete pieces of shit. Like so many of the original ones. Somehow Ego Raptor isn't. AVGN managed to convince everyone he was, and then he showed up at the Chud Game Awards. I hear PewDiePie actually got better. Somehow. I didn't really keep up with many of the others. Oh, well, didn't Chugga Conroy turn out to be a piece of shit too, or am I thinking of someone else? Uh-oh. There was some Let's Player that I used to watch that turned out to be a piece of shit. For some reason I remember being Chugga Conroy, but I don't remember. I never really watched his content, and I honestly don't even remember why I was following him in the first place. I must have watched something of his. Does it mean I was following him? Or subscribed to him? No idea what it was. I may also have just known the name and then subscribed to him and then just never watched anything. That was something that I did a lot. The moral of the story is don't meet your heroes. I'm so full of water. I'm trying! Ain't no way I got the time of that. The wastes where life began. I remember we went gun here. Sardines. Chat, do you like sardines? So I like sardines. Sardines are pretty good with crackers. I've always wanted to try anchovies because I've heard they're similar to sardines, and I know anchovies are normally on pizza. But like, I don't think I've ever been to a pizza place that actually offered anchovies on pizza. I didn't want to try it when I was a kid, because I didn't like fish when I was younger. But I have grown, as I got older, to love fish. And as a matter of fact, I am not bothered by the fishy taste in fish anymore, like, say, kohai is. I have grown to basically ignore it, really. And for some people, fish is kind of an acquired taste anyways. Not everybody likes fish. But when I tried sardines for the first time and actually liked them, I found out that anchovies are kind of similar to sardines. And that's what made me finally want to try anchovies on pizza. And I've still yet to be able to have the opportunity to do that. The problem is I am not eating a whole pizza myself, so if I'm having anchovies on pizza, someone has to split it with me. Because I'm not eating a whole pizza myself. Okay, so I definitely missed something somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Got him. You explode yourself. Crystal needle. Oop. Give me the meat. Gotcha. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot if I said this on stream, but I finished a Wario World recently, again, because it came to Switch 2, and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm gonna play it 100% it so I never have to touch it again. And I did. I 100%ed it. It's a very easy game to 100%. And I talked about this on stream when I played it on stream. That was... Actually, when was that? Keep, like, meticulous notes. Because I'm autistic like that. What the fuck? Here it is. Oh, don't... Wario World of September 2023. God, that was 2 years ago. That does sound right, though. It's kind of fun. But something I realized when I played it on stream and became more evident when I replayed it again on Switch 2 is it is very repetitive. You do not gain any abilities or power-ups throughout the game. So you are stuck with Wario's base abilities from the start all the way to the end. So the gameplay isn't very engaging. You just punch a bunch of shit. You pile drive or throw the enemies to kill them. You throw enemies into other enemies to damage the bosses. Deal with hazards and all that. It gets old real fast. There's a couple of things that shape or change up the gameplay. Like using magnets on metal and using stalactite enemies to use as platforms. Some of that's kind of cool, but it's also never utilized in any way that's actually interesting. It's just used in a couple, like 1 or 2 areas per the level they're introduced in. And fundamentally, all of the instances where it happens is the same thing. You are using an enemy as a platform to get up higher. It's never used in any way that's actually interesting. And the other problem is the enemies themselves. There are 5 enemy types that are repeated throughout every level, and the only thing that differentiates them is their skin. They have the exact same voice lines, no matter how they look. The boss fights are probably the most interesting part of the game, though, because they're the only things that actually do anything different. The game does have an excellent soundtrack, though. And the enemy designs, for the most part, are pretty interesting. Some of them are cursed. It's also really funny because the second to last boss of the game is also one of the easiest bosses in the game. Kind of. Which begs the question of why is he so late in the game if he's just going to be so easy. Though, to be fair, none of the bosses are really all that hard. That's the other thing, the game is actually pretty easy. But one of the other big problems that the game has is that there's only 8 levels in the game. 4 worlds with 2 levels each, and that's not a whole lot. I know Wario Land 4 was also pretty short for the most part, but it was still longer than Wario World. Now, what I learned long after I first played it was the developer of Wario World was Treasure. And Treasure is well known as the developers of Gunstar Heroes and the cult classic N64 game Mischief Makers, something that's been on my list to get for a very long time. I forget what else they made. Alright. Watermelon. Regular melon. I would not mind some watermelon right now. But I really wanted strawberries, but they're not in season. I love strawberries. I go feral for them. They're so good. I think that was a mochi donut. Man, I wish I could have tried the mochi nut downtown before they closed. I was so mad about that. Buzzsaw cutter. Okay, we got 2 things to upgrade. Because I forgot to upgrade the, one of my abilities. Ow. Does the cactus hurt me? No. I will eat the corn off the cactus. Yeah, you know what they call it? Corn on the corn on the cack. Ow. Slurp. Oh. Alright, we got him. It's really funny to me that they had to come up with something as an upgrade for the drill, and they went, pencil, that makes sense. I mean, they had to do something, because I can't imagine there's many things more drilly than a drill. I don't remember what the second upgrade is. You know, I was just thinking, Super Mario Sunshine hasn't come to Switch 2 yet. I'm actually, like, shocked that the GameCube app didn't launch with Mario Sunshine. But I also haven't streamed it yet. There's a few games that I feel like I should have streamed already, but I just haven't. Because I haven't streamed Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy. In fact, I took so long to not stream Galaxy that there's 2 different versions of Galaxy on Switch that I can stream now. On top of the Wii original. I do actually have Galaxy penciled down as something I want to stream. And it'll be the Switch version. But it's going to be a little special. Because I'm not going to be streaming Mario's half of the game. I'm going to be streaming Luigi's half. Because I have never done Luigi's half of the game. I've attempted it, but I never finished it. Because when I was younger, when I got Mario Galaxy for Wii, I actually 100%ed Mario's half. But I never 100%ed in Luigi's half. Yes, I know. Needle, that was the other one. Not 100% in Luigi's half, or rather 100% in it, is something I've been wanting to do for years. And I just never did it. So, when I stream Mario Galaxy, I'm going to finally do that. And at some point, I need to go back and 100% Mario Galaxy and 3D All-Stars. I also should 100% Mario Sunshine in 3D All-Stars. Like, I should. But, like, I watched Thrice do that. I don't have enough coins. I watched Thrice do that, and I think that was good enough for me. I don't want to collect all the blue coins. Should do that. No. Let's fish for a little bit, chat. Big boy. I seem to remember there's a big golden one. Or maybe not. No, either way we can get the upgrade now. So let's see, what needs tier 3? Ranger, hammer. Tornado. Yeah. Drill. Nice. And then there's a fourth, there is a fourth tier for hammer and only 2 for sleep and crash. Drill. Azithiel, hope you're cozy and restful today. I am neither, but thank you. Hydrate and stretch. Oh dear, the Tamagotchi is happening. Hang on. I will do that now. Alright. Let me hydrate and stretch and I'll explain. Streamers are really just Tamagotchi you keep as pets. You have to remind them to stretch, eat, and drink, and you have to provide enrichment. Truly, we are Tamagotchi. Oh, I felt my soul leave my body. Oh, that felt too good. Oh. I'm good. Oh, really good, actually. So, like, I did not sleep well. Again, what else is new? But also something happened earlier in the day that I don't want to get into on stream that put me in a bad headspace for most of the day. It has been resolved and everything is fine, but I still don't feel good about it. On top of that, shitty internet troubles have continued. It actually seems to be fine now. It's been fine for the past few hours. Let me double check what my connection even is right now. My upload speed is fine, so it's not affecting the stream, thankfully. Yeah, no, our download speed is not where it's supposed to be, but it's at least been in triple digits for the past 4 hours. 5 hours, actually, I think. And then on top of that, my prescription request was denied because I need to meet with, excuse me, I need to meet with my psychiatrist again because I guess it's been a few years and I have to be reevaluated or something. I don't know. He hasn't responded to my message. No, he hasn't. And I get weird when I don't take this medication. So, like, I need it, and I need it within, 2 weeks. Otherwise, I run out. Okay, I thought it burned out. It's good. Everything's fine. Give me one moment. Alright. Reliable Mall, staff side. Just saw something painful on Imgur and I'm in... Did I just swap? I just swapped sword for sword. Oh dear, this... I need to see what this is. Faison. Just because something pains you does not mean you have to inflict that suffering on others. You can use your powers for good. The year is 2030. Actually, I have to change the year because it's no longer... The year is 2050. Humanity has evolved. They have uploaded their consciousness to the internet. The save icon is still a floppy disk. Ow. I like the stupid Meta Knight mask on the point on his head. I forgot about that. Shoop. Shoop. Oh yeah, speaking of, since I was talking about the GameCube app on Switch 2, Rayman 2 and Tonic Trouble are on the N64 app now on Switch and Switch 2, which is pretty cool for a couple reasons. The main reason being it's the first time Ubisoft has played ball with Nintendo on NSO. But also, it's the first time the N64 version of Rayman 2 has been made available in a very long time. Ever, actually. And it's the first acknowledgement that Tonic Trouble has gotten from Ubisoft, I think, since its release. I don't know if it's on GOG. Now, or rather, I streamed Tonic Trouble earlier this year. So like some of you have seen Sonic Trouble. It was something that I played a lot as a kid. I played a lot of Rayman 2 as a kid as well. But I never finished either game as a kid. I finished Rayman 2 as an adult, but I finished it long before I started streaming. Sonic Trouble, though, was something that I never finished as an adult until earlier this year when I streamed it. And I do want to stream Rayman 2 at some point, but I wanted to stream the Dreamcast version. Because that is, from what I've been told, the best version of the game. Because I want to do a Rayman series playthrough at some point. My plan was to stream Rayman on PS1, or maybe Rayman Forever on PC, I don't know yet. Rayman 2 on Dreamcast, Rayman Revolution on PS2, which is a remake of Rayman 2. Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc on GameCube, Rayman Origins on Wii, and then Rayman Legends on Switch. Completely ignoring the Rabbids games and the variety of ports of Rayman 2. Because there's so many versions of Rayman 2 and they're all different. Because Rayman 2 was on N64, PS1, and PC originally. There was a Dreamcast version, the PS2 remake, and later on, there was a DS port and a 3DS port. Wild Hammer, there we go. The N64 and PC ports, from what I know, are very similar, with the PC port being a little better. The PS1 port had English voice acting in the American version. There was voice acting in the N64 and I think the PC version, but it wasn't English. There's like some weird kind of pig Latin mixed with gibberish. Oh, I don't have hammer. The Dreamcast version of Rayman 2 had a hub world that was different from the other versions. The other versions had the Hall of Doors. If I remember correctly, the Dreamcast version was more of an island. It has, from what I remember, a few extra levels. On top of the better visuals. I don't know anything about Rayman Revolution other than it being basically a completely different game, while still being a remake of 2. So it follows the same story beats as Rayman 2, but it is a full-fledged remake of the game on PS2 hardware. So it looks better, the levels are different, some of them I think are a bit more open and whatnot. But I've never really seen gameplay of that version. But Soro grew up with it, and she has sung its praises for years to me. And then there was the DS version of Rayman 2, which was the launch title, which I also have never seen any gameplay of that, but I have seen some screenshots. And I'm not sure which version it's based on. I'm pretty sure it is based on the Dreamcast version, since that was considered the definitive version of the game. And then for some reason, Ubisoft decided that with the next Nintendo hardware that they would once again do a port of Rayman 2 for it. Because there's a port of Rayman 2 for DS titled Rayman DS, and there's also a port of Rayman 2 for 3DS titled Rayman 3D. And I know the 3DS version is based on the Dreamcast version. Except it's a lot buggier and in fact cannot be 100%ed because one of the springboards doesn't work correctly. So you can't reach a lum with it. Meaning you can't get all 1,000 lums. And there is a reason to play some of these different versions. The main reason to play the PS1 version, aside from being the only one with English voice acting, is it actually includes a prototype in it. There's less than 1,000 lums in the PS1 version. They lessen the number. I don't know exactly how many there are in the PS1 version. But if you collect all of the lums, you unlock a prototype of Rayman 2 back when it was a 2D game, being a more direct sequel to the original Rayman. That's one of the main highlights of the PS1 version. It's just being able to play that prototype. Hammer. Chat room, I am out of star coins. You know how much money I can make from doing this? Well, let's try them. One trash. Frenzy gig. That's the burger. Just eating a whole tomato. Something that I learned from Once Upon a Katamari is that there is a thing people do in Japan where they eat candy-coated, like, I think it's like taffy tomatoes. Because one of the things you can get in one of the last missions in the game is candy-coated tomato. It's like, I think they call it taffy tomatoes or syrupy tomatoes or something like that. Alright, that's a bit better. Cool. Alright. I need a little bit more money. And I think I can get that from doing the cafe thing one more time. Chad, do we really only have an hour of stream left? Man, time sure flies. So the Kirby cake and the Kirby burger are two things you can order at the Kirby Cafe in Japan. So those are real food items. And if I'm not mistaken, them being in the game was a kind of a promotion with the Kirby Cafe. Because like they were added to they're in the game, and then oh, you can try them at the cafe when after the game launches. Kirby Cafe is one of the things I want to go to if I ever visit Japan. You know, actually, is there a fourth hammer upgrade? Maybe it is just sword. Ranger treasure. There we go. Moonlight King. Twin Drill, that was the upgrade. I don't remember what the second ice upgrade is. The third tier for ice. If you're wondering why I'm doing this, he moves faster if he's not, if I don't hold the button. So this way I can still see ahead of me and get close to max speed. Of course it helps if I'm actually paying attention. Ow. Oh, almond rice. I am so happy I finally got to try almond rice. Something I've been wanting to try for a few years. I finally got to try it a few months ago. I know, like, in Japan, it's commonly made for kids. But it's pretty tasty. Probably pretty easy to make, too. Bonk. It's just an omelet with ketchup served over ketchup fried rice. Your Honor, Kirby the Forgotten Land. Death. Hungry rice? Yeah. Omelet rice. Or egg omelet. Served over ketchup fried rice. Or just over rice and topped with ketchup, depending on how it's done. The version I had ketchup fried rice, and it was actually pretty tasty. Flight controls aren't inverted. I have been wanting to try omurice ever since I first learned of it in Katamari Damacy. Because for a while, Katamari Damacy was how I was getting spoon-fed information on Japanese food. And many years later, I got spoon-fed more Japanese food from the Yakuza series. So you're telling me the commander from Nikkei goes to a maid cafe and always order the kids' meal for himself with ketchup drawing and all? I guess. Omurice is typically served to children, not adults. It's considered a meal for kids. I'm sure adults can eat it, but usually it's considered a kid's meal. Also, I probably butchered that name. I think it's actually pronounced Nike. I think it's like a gacha or something. I don't play gachas. I quote-unquote play Fire Emblem Heroes, but as soon as it stops giving me platinum points, I'm never touching the game again. And I've actually almost gotten all the platinum points from it. Because I'm on the last chapter that gives them out. Did I get a blueprint? Chat, did I get the blueprint from that level? I don't remember. Tilt and roll Kirby. I had forgotten about that. Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, that's right, it was Twin Drill. I'm gonna drop that off and see how much I need to get, and then I'll try the tilt and roll Kirby thing. $800. That's what I thought. So, chat. I've asked before about what your what GameCube game you want to see on Switch 2 through the GameCube NSO app. But what about the other apps? What do you want to see come to the other apps? Because something that I really want to see, I was just thinking about it, something that I really want to see come to the GBA app is WarioWare Twisted. This is something that I grew up playing, and I love WarioWare Twisted. It's not my favorite WarioWare, because my favorite is Touched on DS, but Twisted was really cool. Nike is the modern anglicized way. Nia would be closer to the ancient Greek way, but I believe technically Nike is first and Nike is the second. Cool. Yeah, WarioWare Twisted is really fun. Nike, Nikkei. Cool. Yeah, I don't need to. I need to do that. I need like a little bit more though. Whoops. Only 50% customer satisfaction. Yeah! I didn't mean to select that. There we go. Oh. I'm checking Discord notifications real quick. One of my friends sent me something. I was gonna read this anyways, but it's convenient that I was sent it, so I don't have to go finding it. Firefox announced, I forget if it was today or yesterday, that they had a new CEO and that they were going to be in a modern AI browser, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. And nobody is happy with it. because Firefox has already started going to shit. And supposedly, as part of this push to add more AI features to Firefox, they might also start blocking ad blockers. And someone posted this to Mastodon. Hello, we're Firefox, the only browser that hasn't hit itself in the dick with a hammer. For years now, folks use us because of our unhammered dick. Now, you may be wondering why today we've brought this hammer and pulled out our dick. Well, I'm glad you asked. Wait, there's also another thing I found that, oh, let me go to here for it. There you go. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Okay. Try Waterfox or Ice Weasel. Try Chill Penguin. Install Flame Mammoth. You just gotta download Bubble Crab. Literally just use Boomer Kawanger. Sting Chameleon has a search bar. Use it to find Toxic Seahorse. It came free with Flame Hyena. Literally, you can just burn to the ground, 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 burn to the ground. Sometimes I love the internet. Poob has it for you. Yeah, someone, the person who posted the Mega Man X one said that someone recommended Florp to them and they thought it was a bit and then found out it's a real browser. And that instead of making the Torment Nexus real, some people have just made Poob real. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I don't remember these Treasure Road missions going so heavy on the ambient occlusion. There's a thing that's ambient occlusion. I know Pikmin 4 uses it, and it's like the only game I've seen that uses it right, because they use it sparingly. If you really want to see a game poorly use all the stupid AI features, play Pinball Effects and turn all the graphics settings all the way up. It's a mess. It's so blurry. Because anytime I buy a game in the year of our Lord 2025, soon to be the year of our Lord 2026, I have to turn off motion blur, depth of field, ambient occlusion, ray tracing, God rays sometimes. And there's always another one that I'm forgetting. There's always one that I'm forgetting. But I have to turn off like half the graphics settings just to make the game not be a blurry mess. And every single time, no matter what game it is, every single time, no matter what game it is, it not only makes the game look better, it improves the frame. And an artist that I have worked with before, I mentioned them earlier, Spoony Cat, actually said that RV There Yet, which is a recent multiplayer game, has motion blur and actually almost made them nauseous because of it. Which probably means that I shouldn't play the game, because the reason why I turn off motion blur is not only because it looks ugly, but because it also makes me nauseous. And in fact, when watching my friend Kohai stream Fever Meme, which has motion blur that can't be turned off, I actually had to swap tabs and basically go audio only for Kohai, because the motion blur was so bad, it was making me feel bad. And if I remember correctly, RV There Yet also doesn't let you turn off the motion blur. But it also has view bobbing, which is apparently a problem for Spoony. And I don't know if it lets you turn off view bombing, but I did read on Steam that a lot of people have complained about it causing motion blur. And I need to point out that Quake, the original Quake, lets you turn off view bombing. So the fact that Are We There Yet potentially doesn't let you turn off view bombing is kind of embarrassing when a game from 1996 lets you turn it off. Sorry, 1990... Wait, what year did Quake come out in? And said, oh, it was 96. Really? Interesting. Mandatory motion blur? Yeah, Fever Meme does not let you turn off motion blur. And what the specific part that got me was there was a bit where you had to jump in a circle around a square area 100 times in a row. And the combination of the motion blur and essentially spinning in a circle made me sick. So I actually had to switch tabs while Kohai was doing that, because if I kept watching, I was probably going to throw up. And there is a trend, it seems, of indie games running on Unreal Engine, because I'm pretty sure it was an Unreal Engine game. Not having fucking settings. Because there was a viral game that came out, I think, last year called Don't Scream that also doesn't have any graphic settings. I think it only does presets. Have you heard about accessibility settings? Woke shit! Make way for inaccessibility settings. You will play in a blurry slurry and be happy that other people can't because it makes them sick. God, that's what it feels like. Like, I have to be able to turn off motion blur, because if I can't turn off motion blur, if it's really intense motion blur, it will make me sick. And some similar things that can set it off is constant spinning, especially with a lot of reflections. I'm not quite sure what exactly makes reflections fuck me up, but I think it's like constant motion where there's just a mess of colors and lights just completely ruins me. Because I had that problem with Resident Evil 5. Late in the game, there's a bit with a spinning elevator. And I almost had to stop stream early because it rather violently set off my motion sickness. Like, a lot of you weren't here for that, I think, because that was... Well, no, that was only last year. Some of you may have been here for that. It was really bad. Oh yeah, also this guy's very scrungly. He's also actually one of the more annoying bosses in the game. Because I think he's one of the harder ones to do a no-hit run with. And every boss has a no-hit challenge in order to unlock a waddle, or get a Waddle Dee. Blizzard Eyes, that's what it was. But not only was that spinning elevator bad for me, I was playing it with Dennis, and it was bad for him too, because we both had to take a moment. After we got out of that scene, I had to just do deep breathing for a little bit before we could continue. I almost ended stream right then and there. Bully his derpy creature while taking his little. We're breaking his little crafts challenge. Oh, let's see. He's trying to capture us. It's fine. He deserved it. Why are we back here? Oh, yeah. We definitely do not have enough to upgrade it, though. So let's see, we need... So we're just missing Ranger? Okay, well, if Dennis is playing Kirby Air Riders, I guess he made it to his new home. Because I just saw him go online. So we're missing Tornado and Ranger. Cool. Don't think we need to worry about that, but... I kind of want to just keep playing the main story. We can worry about that later. In fact, I could actually worry about it off-stream. And get that upgrade or the last... Oh, this is the last world. So this will be the last world, then we got the post-game, and then we can finally do Star-Crossed World. The whole reason why I'm streaming this is to play Star-Crossed World, but we're doing that last, because it's the only new content. And then once I finish streaming it, I get to play it again off-stream, where I'm actually going to 100% it. I might as well do this. Alright, so if Dennis is able to play from a Switch 2 now, that probably means he'll be good for Earthbound tomorrow. And if my internet behaves, we should be able to do Earthbound with no issues. Bye. Yeah, thinking about it, there's actually a bunch of GBA games that I would love to see come to Switch 2. I was thinking back to when we were talking about WarioWare Twisted. Because I didn't have many GBA games growing up. I mean, I didn't have many Game Boy Color or Game Boy games growing up either, but I didn't really play those a whole lot. I played some, but I was more interested in the GBA. And I didn't get to play many GBA games. There's a few that are on Switch already, because Ninja 5 came out on Switch in a rather expensive re-release. In fact, I don't actually think it's playable on Switch 2 because of some issues with the emulation. There's also Double Dragon Advance, which I own on Switch, which is a pretty fun version of Double Dragon. And then there's Super Gunstar Heroes, which is a sequel to Gunstar Heroes that I've heard is pretty good. So Ninja 5 won't be coming to the app because it's already on Switch. It came to Switch as its own re-release. So over here is where the final treasure road is, but you don't get it until you unlock Morpho Knight. There's actually a hint for it, and that's the orange butterflies. Or maybe it's the last thing you unlock, I'm not sure. Yeah, we still have some time. So there's one over there. I think that's all the ones I can find right now. So let's do these two. And then we'll do the next level, and I might have time for one more level. I could go late and finish the game, but I kind of don't want to go late. Because even if I finish the game tonight, I'm still going to be streaming it for a bit, because I still have to do the post-game. And I still have to do Starcross World, so... This isn't like I would finish it tonight and then be done with the game. So I don't need to finish it tonight. Yeah, you know, I really don't remember the original version of this game going so heavy on the ambient occlusion here. I kind of hate it, because this is kind of eye searing. Well, there's some kind of, I don't know if it's ambient occlusion necessarily, but there's some kind of filter going on, so everything in the Treasure Road has a red and green outline. And it's really bad. I'm like pretty certain it's ambient occlusion though. Because what ambient occlusion does is it blends colors together. And in games where I know it's active, it does kind of give this similar effect. And it looks fucking awful. I'm gonna be real, I hate all of the stupid fucking next-gen visuals in games nowadays. Because all they do is they make the game blurrier, and they always make the game run worse. If you turn them off, the game looks nicer and it runs better. Motion blur actively makes me sick. Depth of field looks horrendous and makes everything blurry. Motion blur makes things close to you blurry when you're moving. So it's both things in the distance and close to you. Ambient occlusion blends colors together, which makes the colors blurry. And then, what was it? Ray tracing, I have yet to actually find a use for. Because the only thing that I've seen ray tracing really used in was Portal RTX, which is also one of the worst examples of ray tracing from what I've seen. Because it loses all sense of identity and just becomes a mess. Basically, a lot of things... The main problem with Portal RTX, and what I remember, is a lot of things that are not supposed to be reflective are. So everything is just shiny and reflective, and it doesn't look right if you played the original Portal. Was it one of the other ones I'm thinking of volumetric lighting? I don't know. I honestly don't even know what half of these mean. I'm convinced they're just made up terms to sell graphics cards. They're just marketing buzzwords. Ow. Built a hatred of motion blur early on and having a desktop instead of a basic non-gaming laptop, just because I like taking screenshots and referring to them later. Ow. See, I just hate them. I hate motion blur because it actually makes me sick. especially if it's really intense. Especially if there's like spinning involved or what is it? Reflective surfaces. Kirby! Oh, destroy 7 lava balls. I thought it was 5. Oh, damn, we actually 100% in that level. Oops. You know what? We're gonna end here, I think. Yeah. And then I will finish this game next week. Yeah. Finish the game next week, start the post game, and then I won't be playing it again for a couple of weeks. What's it? It was Blizzard Ice that we're getting. Or put it in anyway, so it's just going to reset my copy ability for next time. The Frosty Hat is better though, it's true, it is better. But unfortunately Blizzard Ice is more powerful, so it's more useful. Okay. I just realized we haven't seen the bomb copy ability in a while, it feels like. I know we have, because there were the seals. Those are bomb. Okay. So, tomorrow? I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. It sounds like Dennis is at his new place if he went online playing Kirby Air Riders. So, theoretically, we should be able to do Earthbound tomorrow, assuming my internet cooperates. If not, we're probably going to do a wheel of pinball tables. Either way, I will be doing a makeup stream on Friday for Chibi Robo. So, we will be playing that on Friday, and I will be streaming Saturday as well with Deep Rock Galactic. So I will probably try to post a new schedule tomorrow to update that. I also might just not. We'll see. In the meantime, we're going to find us the lovely bean to raid. And I already know who it's going to be. We're going to raid my bestie, Virtual Kohai. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for seeing. No, thank you for tuning in. So, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with possibly Earthbound, possibly something else. I'll be back Friday with Chibi Robo to make up for not streaming Tuesday. And I'll be back Saturday with Deep Rock Galactic. In the meantime, if you want to hang out after stream, I have a Discord. If you want to keep up with my bullshit and other updates, I have a Blue Sky. And if you ever miss a stream, I have a VOD channel on YouTube. If you would like to join in on the raid message is Dapper Dragon Raid. You can use whatever emotes you want, as long as they copy the raid message, that's all I care about. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. Your brain is so fucked. We said Deep Rock. I started typing Rockin' Stone. Dapper Dragon Rockin' Stone. Sleeper Agent. Deep Rock fans.